Welcome to the TeamForge 7.0 What's New training video. In this video, we'll introduce the new features, functionality, and improvements to CollabNet TeamForge. Driven by the advent of mobile, social, big data, and cloud, application development lifecycle management is becoming increasingly more complex and difficult. CollabNet has responded to this by releasing TeamForge 7.0. TeamForge 7.0 brings exciting new features and functionality to the TeamForge platform. The lifecycle coverage has been extended beyond releases and into the deployment and operation stages by providing tools to support those activities. The platform is not just about embedded tools, it's an ecosystem of tools. With TeamForge 7.0, you'll see the introduction of the Adaptive Planning Board, which ties directly to Tracker. Lifecycle analytics, which include cross-tool, cross-project metrics and reporting, and usability enhancements designed to reduce clicks, streamlining many activities. With the introduction of Orchestrate, CollabNet's new tool, you'll have traceability across tools and activities, producing a cumulative view of project activity. The ability to extend that traceability to the tools you're familiar with for your software development projects so that you don't need to learn new tools to gain the functionality. And a single platform for your software development lifecycle from plan to DevOps. These 7 points cover a broad range of improvements and new functionality which differentiate the TeamForge 7.0 release. These are the enhancements we'll be highlighting throughout this video. Improvements to the global look and feel, improvements to the global usability, the addition of planning boards for tracker artifacts, new lifecycle metric dashboard, improvements to Git Garrett, the introduction of Orchestrate, and improvements and updates to the platform. The intent of this video is to introduce you to the new capabilities and improvements to CollabNet TeamForge 7.0. For additional training opportunities, visit the CollabNet website. TeamForge 7.0 has been remodeled with a modern, less cluttered interface. Rather than a separate toolbar for the site-wide navigation and functionality, these features have been moved to the TeamForge header to provide more vertical space. Better segmentation of the elements on the screen help to distinguish between the segments while not wasting real estate, and there have been project toolbar changes for a better workflow. With these changes, there have been design improvements to keep the headers and supporting navigation subdued so that your visual focus is drawn to the content, not to the framework. With the release of 7.0, TeamForge continues to support customizable branding. The newly designed interface now features the CollabNet branding and a cleaner focus on the data rather than the framework itself. The site-wide navigation options have been incorporated into the top banner to reduce vertical stacking. The toolbar has been organized into tool groupings for a more intuitive flow, development tools, and collaboration tools. The main work areas headers, navigation, and buttons have become less prominent, so the emphasis is on the content. These changes provide the TeamForge 7.0 user with a less cluttered interface so they can focus on their work. Along with changes to the look and feel, the TeamForge 7.0 release brings many usability improvements focused on reducing clicks and optimizing common operations. There have been improvements to table control visibility, table filter controls, and to the search interaction menu. And the capability to edit tracker artifacts inline has been added. Table visibility has been enhanced with anchored headers and footers. This means no more scrolling down to find your row of data, then scrolling back to the top to try to remember the column headings, then scrolling back down to the row of data that you were looking at to make your changes. This is quite useful with large tables such as the Tracker Artifact List view, the Planning Folder List view, the User Role Matrix, and the User Group Role Matrix, where rows and rows of content can now be viewed and vertically scrolled while the column headings and the available action buttons remain in place and visible. Table filter controls have been enhanced to include filter settings that are always visible. You no longer need to select Show or Hide to control filter visibility, Now you simply enter any desired criteria for your filters and click the filter button to refresh the display. Your filter settings will remain anchored in your display so that you always know what criteria you've chosen, no matter how far you've scrolled. Along with visible filter settings, for your convenience, TeamForge 7.0 displays the maximum number of rows you've chosen to display. TeamForge 7.0 has an enhanced interactive search menu so that you can now choose between a variety of search modes, such as Jump to ID, All Category Search, Single Category Search, and Advanced Search. Because this interactive search menu resides on the site-wide navigation bar, you can now search without leaving your current page. And for those sites where performance is a concern, the old-style search can be set as the default via a site-level configuration option. Inline editing is another significant usability and productivity enhancement. TeamForge 7.0 lets you edit multiple tracker artifacts at once without additional clicks, keeping you in your tracker list or planning folder view rather than scrolling and clicking to go to the data form and scrolling and clicking in the form to make your edits. Once you click the Edit Inline button, your cursor will change to indicate editable fields. Imagine the cumulative time savings over a day's worth of updating artifacts. TeamForge introduces a new adaptive planning board feature. Planning boards can be used to support agile, traditional, or any other application lifecycle methodology. Toggling between list view and board view allows you to take advantage of the features of either mode, such as inline editing available in the list view, or artifact organization and ranking available in the board view. With one gesture, organize and rank your work items, create hierarchies, and adjust your plans as the need arises, all by dragging and dropping between planning folders. View parent-child dependencies to a depth of 3 levels in the planning board. The Tracker tool's new board view offers a different view of trackers and planning folders. Each column shows a selected planning folder where the artifacts are shown as cards arranged in that planning folder column. The cards, or artifacts, can be dragged and dropped to change folders and for ranking within folders. Drag and drop your work items to create hierarchies, to organize and re-rank your work items within the planning folders. If you toggle between the two views, you'll see changes in one view reflected in the display on the other view. The planning board cards display key data about each artifact in the planning folder. The data displayed includes the artifact's object ID and status, the priority and title, the assigned to value, and the estimated, remaining, and actual effort information. If story points are recorded, that value will also display. The planning board visually portrays the hierarchy of artifacts in the planning folder, including a plus sign to denote the existence of dependent artifacts. Lifecycle metrics can now be added to your project homepage content. These new reports are available as a project page component, which displays interactive reports, which is based on data from multiple projects and data sources, which can be created and customized without the need to be an expert at SQL queries and databases because you'll use pick lists for your choice of reporting criteria, and which are dynamic reports showing live data. To add the lifecycle metrics to your homepage content, you'll need to add a new component while in Configure On mode. Choose Lifecycle Metrics from the component type list and make your choices for visibility and location for the new component. Don't forget to add a descriptive title, which may help to distinguish between variations of the same report type. After selecting the Lifecycle Metrics component, you'll be able to choose the report type. TeamForge 7.0 conveniently shows a sample of the report type to help you decide which report to add to the homepage content. Currently, the artifact distribution charts for multiple and single trackers are available. You can expect new reports on a frequent basis delivered as streamed content. Each report has different criteria that can be either entered or selected to help you customize your report. Note that when an ID is requested, the entry will be lowercase. You may find it handy to keep notes on what the various tracker IDs are for defects, epics, stories, and so forth. Once you've finished building your report, it will display as a part of the project homepage content. While still in Configuration On mode, you can move the report up and down on the project homepage, edit the report, and so forth. When displayed on a project homepage, hovering on a label will bring that label up as a caption. Double-clicking on a pie graph wedge will separate it from the rest of the graph, calling attention to the metric. The keys at the bottom act as a toggle. By clicking on one of the priorities in these keys, you can show or hide those subsets from the graph. You can also remodel the report by changing the reporting criteria to allow you truly interactive reporting. Git web caching has been refreshed to look more like TeamForge and Subversion Edge with the CollabNet TeamForge branding at the top and the muted headings and navigation drawing focus to the contents. The look and feel of the repository viewer now matches the TeamForge 7.0 look and feel, visually showing that the connection between the two is tighter than ever. Orchestrate is an exciting new tool in TeamForge 7.0 which helps to extend lifecycle coverage from requirements to DevOps. The software delivery lifecycle is automated by a variety of tools supporting and enabling a variety of lifecycle activities. TeamForge Orchestrate captures metadata about these activities and draws associations between them. A project may have many pipelines, each with many associations, so automating the traceability for each one becomes more important. Social activity streams are used to include comments and discussions in this traceability, linking them to events, data, and activities. This added detail provides context throughout the delivery pipelines. You can continue to use the tools already in use on your projects. Agent-based APIs provide the links between TeamForge and third-party tools so that Orchestrate recognizes and uses the data from those tools. A pipeline shows the steps involved in a project. These steps can include commits, builds, and reviews. In the TeamForge Orchestrate Pipelines list, you can create a new pipeline by clicking Add Pipeline. Let's take a look at what it takes to make a pipeline. Building a new pipeline is done in the TeamForge Orchestrate UI via drag and drop. After clicking Add Pipeline in the pipeline listing, choose from the project picked list and provide both a pipeline-friendly name and a short name. You drag and drop the steps to create an ordered list of the pipeline steps. You can reorganize the steps by dragging them within the list. If you want to remove a step, just drag it to the trash bin. Save your pipeline and move on to the next step by clicking Save and Add Sources. For each step in your pipeline, you'll connect to the relevant repositories, build and test applications, and code review tools, enabling Orchestrate to communicate with them for traceability. Just select the pipeline step on the left and click Add a New Source. TeamForge Orchestrate comes with several packaged plugins which help to automate the delivery pipeline. These packaged plugins require no special coding. Orchestrate also allows you to fold your own gear into the platform to include your additions in the associations matrix for enhanced traceability. These packaged plugins include Git and Subversion for SCM and version control tools, for code review, ReviewBoard and Crucible, TeamCity and Jenkins for build and continuous integration, and CollabNet TeamForge for issue tracking. Orchestrate has a scalable, lightweight architecture which allows rapid integration of tools not on the packaged plugin list. There is an SDK for custom agents as well as open source templates. Social activity streams show real-time data about your activities within the pipeline, allowing you to track and maintain the pipeline's general health. To view an activity stream, click on the pipeline name. You can manage the amount and type of data displayed. Use the filter button to focus on just the events you need to see. Filter by start and end dates or by steps. The activity stream is constantly updating so you can see the general health of your pipeline and act to mitigate any issues as they arise. Using drill down, you can view details about an activity. Just click on an item in the activity stream to view its details, such as its associations, comments, history, test results, build summary, and files and operations. Clicking on an association will open it in another browser tab. And you can update the comment and view linked data such as the test results and build summary. Clicking Trace Associations in the Activity Stream Association pane will open the Traceability Explorer displaying the associations in a graphical format. By clicking on an activity icon, you can open the activity's details. Hovering over an activity will show you the title of that activity. And control clicking on an activity makes that activity the central focus of the Traceability Explorer. You can filter your activities and identify the depth of the associations to view. The Traceability Explorer provides an easy visual which can be used to pinpoint problem activities and their effect on associated activities. To support all of these changes we've discussed and to maintain the efficacy of TeamForge, many underlying platform improvements were made. Many enhancements were made for searches, including optimized search indexing for artifacts and documents, replacing the binary document indexer Stellent.io with Tika, and a multi-threaded search handler. Changes from single to multi-threaded event handler, the integration of Git Gerrit installer with the TeamForge installer, enhanced session handling, and the upgrade to JDK 1.7.021 and JBoss 7.1.1 are also among the platform improvements. Thank you for attending this CollabNet TeamForge 7.0 New Features and Enhancements training course. To explore additional learning opportunities for TeamForge, please visit the CollabNet training page.